Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel, I hope. Everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos horrifies fans with poor choice. Bachelor Nation fans love this season of The Bachelorette, but Joan Vassos' poor choices left some fans feeling horrified. Keep reading for all the details. Joan Vassos reunites with rejected Golden Bachelorette suitors. Joan Vassos and some of her rejected Golden Bachelorette suitors reunited on the Men Tell All special. Her final two men, Chalk Chapel and Guy Gansert, were noticeably absent to keep the season's outcome a secret until next week. Viewers have disagreed with some of Joan's decisions this season, particularly when she sent Mark Anderson and Jordan Heller home. Some fans will probably disagree with her final choice too. But one of Joan's choices at the Men Tell All had fans in an uproar. What happened? Fans horrified by her poor choice. Overall, viewers loved the Men Tell All special. The wholesome friendship between the men endeared them to fans. But a large section of viewers didn't like Joan's wardrobe choice. One fan took to Reddit to discuss the inappropriate attire. I have seen this similar dress on other celebrities on the red carpet. I have never liked it and really think it was inappropriate and distracting for this episode, they wrote. They called the low-cut black dress a miss. The post racked up over 50 comments, with most agreeing that the outfit was a poor choice. Check out what others said. That's just awful. I felt the same way about the low-rise jeans she wore to meet Jordan's family. They were completely inappropriate and distracting. Yes, the dress was way too young and inappropriate for that occasion. It's a shame because she's really pretty. Wardrobe staff failed her. That should have been saved for someone in their 20s. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. A more refined dress would have served her better. That dress was hugely unflattering and inappropriate. I would have refused to walk on stage in it. Why did the yiddies have to be out? The dress could have been a beautiful color and silhouette. Totally agree. It was just odd and seemed a bit like trying too hard. She could have chosen so many classy things, but I think she tried to be trendy. Other fans defend Joan's wardrobe. But not everyone hated Joan's outfit. One fan took up in her defense, writing, "All these comments reinforce stereotypes about age and what's considered acceptable based on it. In reality, people of all ages have the right to dress in ways that make them feel comfortable and confident, regardless of age." Another added, "She looks amazing. And more natural, less Botox and fillers, which is better." The golden glow of romance that Joan Vassos carried throughout the Golden Bachelorette dimmed significantly last night as her latest decision left fans gasping in disbelief. The episode, which had promised tearful confessions and heartwarming connections, instead delivered an unexpected twist that set social media ablaze. The turning point: a polarizing rose ceremony. For weeks, Joan had been the picture of elegance and wisdom, navigating her journey to love with grace. Her thoughtful conversations with the men, coupled with her evident sincerity, made her a fan favorite. But last night, her impeccable reputation took a hit. The infamous moment came during the final rose ceremony of the episode, with three men vying for her heart. Pascal Advieux, the suave salon owner with a heart of gold. Mark Anderson, the witty adventurer who charmed fans with his humor. And Guy Gansert, the quiet, steady presence who had been a rock for Joan. The decision seemed impossible. The tension was palpable as Joan addressed each suitor, her voice trembling with emotion. "Pascal," she began, holding the rose delicately between her fingers, "you've shown me a world of sophistication and creativity I never knew existed." A flicker of hope lit his eyes. "Mark," she continued, "you've brought laughter and adventure into my life when I needed it most." Finally, she turned to Guy. "And you, Guy, have been my safe harbor, someone who sees me for who I am." But just as viewers were settling in for what they thought would be a predictable ending, Joan took a deep breath and uttered the words that sent shockwaves through the mansion and living rooms across America. "I've made my decision," she said, before handing the rose to none other than Rick Hannigan, a contestant eliminated weeks earlier. The shocking return of Rick Hannigan. Rick's return had already stirred the pot earlier in the episode. The 58-year-old former pro golfer had been sent home in week 2, after a lackluster connection with Joan. But during a surprise re-entry, he proclaimed that he had unfinished business and wasn't ready to let her go. Despite initial skepticism, Joan agreed to let him stay, giving him one last chance to prove himself. Fans, however, were less forgiving. Social media erupted as Rick's dramatic comeback dominated the narrative, overshadowing the 3 frontrunners who had been consistently vying for Joan's affection. A risky choice. As Joan handed Rick the final rose, the room fell into a stunned silence. Pascal looked visibly gutted, his usual composure cracking under the weight of betrayal. Mark muttered something under his breath before storming off, leaving fans speculating about the unspoken tension. And I, steady, loyal guy, offered Joan a bittersweet smile before walking away with his dignity intact. "What are you doing, Joan?" One fan tweeted moments after the rose ceremony aired. "Rick doesn't deserve to be here, and you just let 3 great guys go for him. #Golden Bachelorette." Another chimed in, "Rick Hannigan is the biggest walking red flag I've ever seen." Joan, blink twice if you need help. #Team Pascal. Even Bachelor Nation alumni weighed in on the controversy. "This is the kind of twist that makes great TV but terrible decisions for real life," tweeted former Bachelorette Rachel Lindsay. "Joan deserves better." What did Joan see in Rick? So what exactly did Joan see in Rick Hannigan? The answer wasn't immediately clear. Throughout the episode, Rick had made a valiant effort to win her over, using every ounce of charm he could muster. He planned a surprise mini-golf date that played on his athletic past, shared a heartfelt story about his struggles with loneliness post-retirement, and even serenaded Joan with a slightly off-key rendition of Unchained Melody. But while Rick's efforts were endearing to some, they felt calculated to others. Critics were quick to point out that his grand gestures lacked the authenticity of Guy's quiet acts of care, Mark's spontaneity, or Pascal's thoughtful gestures. "I think Rick just knows how to play the game," one viewer commented on a popular fan forum. "He's manipulative, and Joan fell for it." Classic case of style over substance. Backlash from the men. The fallout from Joan's decision wasn't confined to fans. In a post-ceremony interview, Pascal didn't hold back his disappointment. "I thought Joan was looking for a real partner," he said. "Someone who could share her life, not just entertain her for a few weeks. I'm heartbroken, but I also feel like I dodged a bullet." Mark, ever the comedian, took a more sardonic tone in his exit interview. "Well, at least I don't have to compete with a guy who sings karaoke like it's the 1980s anymore," he quipped. "Good luck, Joan. You're going to need it." Guy, true to form, was more gracious. "I respect Joan's choice," he said, though his disappointment was evident. "I just hope Rick makes her as happy as she deserves to be." Joan defends her decision. The episode concluded with Joan offering an emotional explanation for her controversial choice. "Rick has flaws," she admitted, "but so do I. And when he came back, he showed me that he was willing to fight for me. That kind of passion means something to me." Her words, however, did little to placate the masses. Critics accused her of confusing persistence with genuine connection, while fans questioned whether Rick's passion was more about staying in the spotlight than winning Joan's heart. The bigger picture. Joan's decision has sparked a larger conversation about love, second chances, and the role of drama in reality TV. While some argue that Joan's choice reflects the unpredictable nature of love, others see it as a cautionary tale about ignoring red flags. Joan's story is a reminder that even the wisest among us can make mistakes in the name of love, said one relationship expert during a post-show analysis. The question now is whether Rick will rise to the occasion or prove everyone right. What's next for Joan and Rick? As the preview for next week's episode teased, Joan's journey with Rick is far from smooth sailing. The clips showed heated arguments, tearful confessions, and what appeared to be Joan questioning her own decision. Will Rick prove his doubters wrong and sweep Joan off her feet? Or will this turn out to be the biggest mistake of her golden love story?